Hi guys, I'm Roger Knowles and welcome back to Always Games TV. And today in this video we're going to be giving you a rundown and an unboxing of the PlayStation VR, and which has just been released and has just arrived today. So, here's the PlayStation VR in the box. This is going to be the outer box, and there's quite a few sections to the actual box. So, first here, as you can see, very much like the similar layout of the artwork on your PlayStation 4 when you purchase that. Also has a PEGI rating, which you're thinking, Roger, why has it got a PEGI rating? That's because actually in the box is included a demo disc. You might have heard about this before, where it's going to give you some of the testers on some of the games which are available to purchase through the PlayStation Store. So that's why it's giving it a PEGI rating, because some of them obviously need a PEGI rating of 16. So there's going to be that is going to be available within the box. You can actually download the demos in a pack off the PlayStation Store as well. So if your internet's not overly brilliant, you don't need to worry, because there will be a disc included as well. So that's the outer layer of the box, and what we're going to do is we're going to open it up now. I've already undone some of the sellotape on some of the sections, so it shouldn't be too bad. So this is your outer sleeve, which folds right back, and then this is going to be your inner box for your PlayStation VR when you purchase it. It's a lot heavier than I initially thought it would be, but that's admittedly you're getting all the components in there as well as the VR headset. So this is your inner box. Nice logo of the PlayStation on top, and very plain and simple. But what I like about this is this bit. Okay, really sort of simple, but if you look, it actually, they've designed it so then there's actually a strap inside the lid which actually holds it in place. I guess it's like a little bit of a little thing, but I like it. It's very Apple-esque. You know, they spend so much money on designing their boxes for the iPhones. Looks like Sony have gone out a little bit with their PlayStation VR as well. So the first thing you'll see on top is your manual for the PlayStation VR, and in there is going to include all the setup. There's a lot of images in here which will show off stage by stage where all the wires go, and so it's a nice easy setup. Like, I think there's numerous stages all the way through, and where everything goes. So there's a lot of wires included in the PlayStation VR, so it can get a little bit complicated. So definitely have a read of this before you go too far into setting it up. So that's the first thing you'll see. Bubble wrap. And then what happens is, in the box, it is separated into two sections. In the first section, you have got your wires. Let's have a quick look. Got your power cord. Very important, obviously. And then in the next section, which is slightly larger, should include the external processing unit. Yep, so you've got micro USB to USB. You have then got the external power box, which obviously your power cord plugs into. Earbuds. Yeah, earbuds. Unfortunately, the earbuds that they have included are not the ones that I like to use. They're the spongy ones, which stick really out. I know a lot of my friends like to use them. I don't. I actually prefer the Apple earphones, the little diddy ones, which are more harder, which just sit in. But I guess I gotta give them a try. And then you have got your external processing unit as well. And all the slots in there, you've got your HDMI, in and out, micro USB, power cord, and then a fan. And then another HDMI and another, oh, what's that one? Is that HDMI? USB? Anyway, those two connect up to your headset. Again, it's all explained in the manual at each stage. So, what you've got here then, sat on top, is the PlayStation VR demo disc. So if you don't wish to download it, you can have the disc and just pop it straight in, which is always good if your internet's a little slow. And then all your little bits of jargon, of manuals, of safety, warranty and things like that. The one thing that I've noticed they actually have been pushing a lot with the PlayStation VR on the box, within the manual and on the PlayStation Store, is not to be used for people who are under age of 12. I think that's the idea of that their eyes are still developing, and there's still a little bit of ifs and buts when it comes to VR and maybe the damage it could do for young people in their eyes. So I think they're just being cautious with that and saying no one under 12 should be using it. And then you've got your microfiber cloth screen cleaner. So when you've got your headset on, the screen and the lenses are very, very close to your eyes. And what you can find, that the oil on your eyelashes can actually touch the lens and like smudge them a little bit. So keep that to hand, because you probably need to clean it nearly every single time you use it, especially if you're wearing makeup and things like that. It can mark it, or if you're prone to sweating, I guess that could also cause it. So you will need to keep that handy, or purchase a few more microfiber cloths just to clean the lens very, very delicately. Good to have. So next up, what have we got here? Oh, just a slip that says PlayStation VR needs some help. So not if they need help, if you need help, you can contact them, and it gives you a few links where you can go to for, I guess, support videos and how to set it up and everything like that. So fair enough. So that's in there. Right then, what have we got here? So we've got an middle section slot, which will lift out. Oh no, we've got some more wires here. We've got the HDMI cable, and the connection that leads to your VR headset to the external processing. So again, a few more wires. And then finally, at the bottom, once I remove some of the cardboard sleeves, there we go. Very delicately, of course. I try it to be anyway. By the way, so you got just an internal sleeve, just keeps everything in the right place. We've got finally the VR headset, which is right in the base, which is bagged up and covered by a foam layer. So I'll tell you what, we'll just close that for the time being. Put the VR headset just there. That is really light. That is very, very light. Very, very light. I'll put this on the floor, out of the way, and make some room. There we go. Now close that back up again, so there's a bit more room there as well. So, the VR headset, let's take a look. Quite excited. Like I say, I haven't actually opened this. I've seen a couple of videos on some of the components, but not actually seen a VR headset face to face. Wow. Now this is, wow, it's really soft. This is nice. Oh, there's something about like the design of white plastic on a device I like. I'm kind of a bit of an Apple guy, and I like the white ones. So as you can see on this one, nice design. Wow, this looks really. I don't want to touch it too much. It looks really delicate. So that is your PlayStation VR headset. You've got a couple of sticky little labels here, just covering up some of the logos, because you've got the Sony logo on the top and the PlayStation logo on either side, with obviously all the sensors all the way around on the top. Feels really spongy. Really. Now, this is going to be comfy to wear. You've also got some, I don't know if you can really see on the camera, but you've got some plastic covering just protecting the lenses, obviously, because you don't want them to be marked. So you remove those before you start playing. And that is the actual headset. Let's have a little look at the wire. Now this is, weirdly, this is a section that I really wanted to check out. Is this little box on the wire, because I am a bit of a snob when it comes to my headset and things like that. So when I was on about the earbuds, I like them to fit just right. I'll probably use my Sharkoon 5.1 Dolby Surround sound headset actually, rather than the earbuds provided. But let's have a little look at this little box here. So as you got here, this will be on the wire. So you've got 4 buttons on here. You've got the power button, you've got the mute button for your microphone, because there's an inbuilt microphone on this as well, and your volume, positive and negative, obviously turn up and down. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but they're actually ever so slightly raised, the volume ones are, and the mute and the power button are less raised, so they're a bit more flat. So when you've got the headset on and you can't really see what you're doing, and you find that the audio's a little low, you can quite easily just feel for this and then feel the buttons which are raised for the volume, so you can quite easily just click them up and down without having to take your headset off to check. In fact, actually looking at it, the off button is quite inset in, so you're not going to get that confused as much. So if you're going to reach for the mute button, there's less chance of you hitting the power button, which is good. And then you've got the jack for your earbuds just in the side there. A bit like the ones that it would go in the bottom of your controller. And it just plugs straight into there. And obviously that is not the full length of the cable that is provided. You've then got this cable here, which looks quite a long one. Oops, dropping everything over. Which that wire plugs into your external processing box, and this then plugs into here. I don't really know why you have to keep adding more wires into more wires, but fair enough. So it's actually going to be quite long, so you've got a lot of wire to play around with, which is good. Apparently the PlayStation VR is very comfortable for people who are wearing glasses, and actually now seeing it, I can see why, because all around the edge of the headset, where your face goes, where it's going to go around you, is very soft, and that will easily mould to if you're wearing glasses, which is good. I wear contact lenses, so 9 times out of 10 I'll be wearing them when I'm playing this, but occasionally, if my eyes need a rest from the contacts, I can put my glasses on and I'm not going to have to worry too much, which is good. The headset has a lot of removable adjustments, so you've got a button on the back, click that in, and that should, in theory, release it. There we go, so it will then adjust. And then you've got a little adjustment thing there that allows it to get a little bit more refined to hold it in place on your head. You've also got another button on the underneath section of the front. Click that in, and that allows you to make some minor adjustments to allow the headset to come forward and close. I can't quite work out how that works, but yeah. So anyway, you press that in, and that allows it to get closer in to your eyes. So if you find that there's a little bit of light bleed from your room coming into your vision, just press that, and it allows you to push it further back into your head to stop light from feeding through. I have heard a few people say when they're wearing glasses, there is still a little bit of light bleed underneath, and that's kind of unavoidable. So if that is the case and you are still having a lot of problems, a few people have been saying if you turn the lights off, and especially if you're playing in the evening, that helps with the immersion of the video games. So, and obviously then the wire feeds through on the outside band and then comes out sort of the back. So you'll need the wire to come away the back, out of the way, so you won't trip. And that is the PlayStation VR headset full box. There's nothing in the box else. There's quite a lot of wires, like I said, a couple of manuals, and you get your demo disc all included. One thing to take into consideration, just in case you don't know, if you don't buy the bundle of the PlayStation VR with the camera, you will need to purchase a PlayStation camera, which is what I didn't actually have either. So I purchased the new design PlayStation camera, which I was going to go for the older one, but apparently a few people had a couple of issues with the older camera. Whether or not that's just because of they were having a couple of issues with their particular camera, I'm not entirely sure. Also, a couple of people were finding that their wire on their old camera was turning the camera ever so slightly. So when you have your headset on and then it would slowly move, you would basically come out of position and the camera couldn't read the VR headset. So I thought I'd bite the bullet and buy the new one, just to go with it. And also, for some of the games, not all of them, but some of them, you will need 2 PlayStation Move controllers. I didn't have any, so we've got 2 PlayStation Move controllers as well. Like I said, it's not an essential. You don't need the PlayStation Move controllers to play all the games. Some of them are happy to work with the controller, which you get with the PlayStation 4, and some of them you can actually either use a Move controller or the PlayStation controller. There's no sort of on those. You can flick back and forth. However, there is some games that do require a PlayStation Move controller. So if you don't have any, just be aware of that and just do your research on your games before you buy them. Because if you buy the game and you don't have any, you're going to be a bit stuck and you'll have to fork out a bit more money to get the controllers, and you don't want the disappointment of that. But the camera is an essential. You will need that for this to work. So there you go. That is everything that you'll need and what was included in the box for the PlayStation VR. If you have any questions, or if you would like me to cover anything else on the PlayStation VR, any little nits and picks which you might be slightly concerned about, leave them in the comments below and I will happily try and answer them as much as I can. Is there anything that you would like to see in videos that, again, just you're a bit concerned about? Any worries? Because it is a bit of an investment. It is the cheapest of the headsets that you can get on the market now, PlayStation VR, but still, it's a little bit of money to fork out. Ask questions down below, and like I said, I will happily try and answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to catch up on some more of our VR videos that will be coming out in the near future. I'm Roger Knowles. This is Always Games TV, and we'll see you, hopefully, in the near future. Bye, guys.